Wants to read can keep your Hare Krishna devotees. So welcome to module 2. We are in chapter number 7 and we are going to enter the second module. The first module we read the confidential knowledge, which means that I'm not the body, I'm the soul. That's the first level of realization. Now we are going to study the second one, which is the most confidential knowledge. So let's dive in to see what this has in store. Right, Hare Krishna all, and let's start off with Mangalacharan. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. Om Anyanatimradasya. Jnananjala Chalakaya. Chakshuru Militam Yena. Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam. Stapitam Yena Bhutale. Swayam Rupa Kadamaya. Dadati Swapadatikam. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpati Gopeshu Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavanishwari Vishwan Sute Devi Pranamani Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vatsadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So before we start moving into the 7th chapter, let's have a quick recaps of 6th chapter. So the first 6th chapter, as I said, spoke about what's called the Karma Yoga, that is working in Krishna conscious. And now we are going to enter what's called the Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti is so important that it is sandwiched between the two. The first 6, which is the Karma Yoga, and the last 6, which is the Jnana Yoga. So in the 6th chapter, Krishna tells about Ashtanga Yoga. So what is Ashtanga Yoga? Ashtanga Yoga is how to practice them, various stages. How do we control the mind? And what is the designation of an unsuccessful yogi, right? So we already saw. So Suchinam Srimatam Gete. That means he does not fail, but he will continue from the point where he stopped. And he also spoke about the topmost yogi reaches where he will reach the most important place, which means Krishna's abode. The 7th chapter is called Knowledge of Absolute. It's called Jnana Vinyana Yoga. All of us know Jnana means knowledge. Vinyana means application. So before I explain what is knowledge of absolute, let's understand what is absolute and relative. So all of us are relative. That means we are dependent on something else. Like for example, Krishna, and we are dependent based on, like for example, we are going out, let's say for a meeting a friend. Okay, we are totally dependent. It's relative to the fact that the climate is good. Mama gives permission. College is not there. So it's relative based on various things you are doing. But the presence of something which is absolute, which is not dependent on anything, it's called Sambodham. It's called, absolute, and that is Krishna. So we are going to talk about knowledge of the absolute. So let's start. Whoever is going to read, please have your hand raised, Hare Krishna, and you can start once I finish the shloka. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Maya Sakta Mana Partha Yogam Yunjan Mad Ashraya Asamshayam Samakrama Yatanyasya Chakshrinu. Hare Krishna.
By practicing yoga in full consciousness of me with mind attached.
So your voice is not coming.
Now here, O son of
Very feeble. I'm not able to.
Now hear, O son of Pratha Arjuna, how by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt. Hare Krishna.
Now it's clear. So he said, oh son of Partha, how by practicing this yoga, right, in full conscience, mind attached to whom? Attached to Krishna. You will know me in full, right? So you'll understand fully by attaching your mind to Krishna. And he is going to explain here what, which is very important. Yeah. 7.2. Hare Krishna.
I shall declare unto you in full this knowledge, both phenomenal and no phenomenal, by knowing which there shall remain nothing further to be known. Hare Krishna.
Is there any book in your entire life, whether it's maths or physics or chemistry, as any author said that you read only this book, this is enough. Nowhere you can see. You'll always have reference to other books. Whereas here Krishna is telling that now I declare in full knowledge of both phenomenal and nominal, right? Both spiritual as well as material. You will not have anything else to read. He says once you read this book, it's ultimate. You don't have to worry, and there is nothing which you need to know beyond this. That's a guarantee Krishna is giving. So that's the specialty, right? So that kind of guarantee, no author, no person can ever give. So that shows that Krishna is so confident that this book is an absolute book. Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschit siddhayai yatadamapi siddhana kaschinmameti tatpatha. Hare Krishna.
Out of many thousands among men, one may endeavor for perfection, and of those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows me in truth. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, very clearly read. Thank you. So what are they saying? Although thousands of people, only one will try and go towards perfection. And that too, out of those who have achieved perfection, only one person will go for that. That means that person is very rare, right? Just like your sports. So many of them keep trying, even ranking, right? So many try, but only one actually achieves comes there from a state qualifier. And of that, only one person will be a winner, right? So likewise, he's talking like, Krishna is mentioning that. And 7.4 talks about his external energies, material energy, right? Bhumir apo nano vayu kammano buddhirevacha ahankaram iti amme vina prakriti rashtada. Hare Krishna.
Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. Altogether, these eight comprise my separated material energies. Hare Krishna.
So there are 5 plus 3. 5 is our gross body, right? That is earth, water, fire, air, and ether, right? Mind, intelligence, and false ego. Bhumi, Mano, Buddhir, Ahankaram. These are the subtle body, right? Only when the subtle body leaves, gross body anyway will leave on that. Subtle body leaves the soul, that is when we will have liberation. So he's telling all of them put together are my separated energies. That is, he's talking, they are my external energy. So Maya Devi is also there. Ether is sound. Ether is more related to sound. Earth, water, fire, air, and sound. Sound passes through ether. So that is the exact word is not found still, but I'm giving you the closest. Now he explained the inferior energy, which is his external energy. Now he's going to talk about his superior energy in 7.9. Hare Krishna.
Beside the inferior nature, O mighty arm Arjuna, there is a superior energy of mind, which are all living entities who are struggling with material nature and are sustaining the universe. Hare Krishna.
He so clearly says, besides the inferior nature, oh Arjuna, there is a superior energy of mind also, right? Which are struggling in the material nature. Who is that? That is us. Not only us, all the living entities, right? They are struggling because they don't know what to do. They just have no clue of what to do because they're struggling here and they are the superior energy, right? So Krishna's superior energy is of two things. One called, which is the spiritual world, and the other one is it's also called Tada Shakti, where Jiva Shakti is a part of it. All the demigods, all devatas will come under that. We are struggling here because we are not meant to be here. We are supposed to be in spiritual world. Hare Krishna. Go ahead.
O conqueror of wealth, Arjuna, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me as pearls as strung on a thread. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. He's saying, oh, conqueror of wealth. Why he's called Dhananjaya? Why? Because Arjuna used to go and conquer wealth. Dhanas, right? During yagnas, a lot of money is required. So he used to go to various kingdoms and he used to get that wealth for performance of yagna. He's telling, there is no truth which is superior to me. He's declaring that. And he says, everything rests upon me as pearls. And what does he say? Pearls are the universes, pearls are us. And thread is himself. Can you see Krishna is so humble? He's so humble that he calls us the pearls and he calls himself as the thread, right? That is the power of Krishna. That is this, we say down to earth. Really, he is someone who's down to earth, because many of us, we think this person is down to earth, this person is humble. Maybe really they are down. But Krishna is someone with all opulences and he compares us as the pearls, right? So everywhere you see, he promotes Arjuna, he promotes us, and he keeps himself in a very normal platform. Right? So can you see these pearls? Literally. So they're saying that everything rests upon him. And let's see 7.6, but go ahead.
Ma'am, in that pearls, everywhere is there Bhagwan.
Yeah, everywhere there is Vishnu. So I'm going to show that. That's called the Goloka chart, which after the session after the 7th chapter, I'll explain Goloka chart. You'll understand how universes are formed.
Okay. Okay, Hare Krishna. Of all that is a material and all that is spiritual in this world, know for certain that I am both its origin and dissolution. Hare Krishna.
Very clearly says of all that is material and all that is spiritual. Material is his external energy. Spiritual is his internal energy. Right? He says, I am there in both the origin and dissolution. So Krishna is the only one who's there everywhere. And that's why he says, Ishwaraha Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigra Anadiradir Govindaha Sarva Karana Karanam. That means beginning and the end, Krishna is only there. So even among the Devatas are also part and parcels of Krishna, including Devatas like Brahma and Shiva. Hare Krishna, 7.8. Daso Aham, 1 second. Sorry. Daso Aham Apsu Kaunteya Prabhashmi Shashi Suryayo Pranavav Sarva Vedeshu Saptarke Pau Shamnirshu. Hare Krishna.
O son of Kunti, Arjuna, I am the taste of water, the light of the sun and the moon, the syllable Om in the Vedic mantras. I am sound in either and ability in man. Hare Krishna.
Says, I am the taste of water, right? I am the light of the sun and the moon. I am in the syllable Om. Om is the Omkara. So you will see any Vedic mantra, you tell Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, starts with Om. Right? Om Vignaya starts with Om. Om Suklam Bharadaram Sashivardam Chadurpujam, that also starts with Om. So everything, right? Any god, any demigod, any devata you pray, it will start with Om. And Om means Omkara. Spelled as AUM also means A represents Krishna, M represents Radharani, and U represents Jivatma. That is us, right? So everywhere Krishna is there. And he's telling, son of Kunti, that is Arjuna, he's telling that I am the taste of water. So when you drink water, also think of Krishna. He is the light in both sun and moon. Sun and moon are considered as his eyes, and he is the light. I am the sound in ether. So you understand, ether is that whatever you call the vacuum, that space. So that sound which enters and the ability in man. So that is a speciality of Krishna. And yes, that is Brahma Samhita. Jai Sang. Thank you. So who and what is Krishna, right? In water, in taste he is water, in light, moon and sun. Om, Vedic mantras, sound, ether. We saw that ability in man, right? In the earth, he is the fragrance. In fire, he is the heat. In all the lives, he is the life, right? The conscious presence of. In all aesthetics, he is the penance. Existence is the original seed. He's the seed giving father. How? With his very glance, he a material world, right? Among all powerful men, he is the powers, and among the strong, right? He is the strength, right? And even among the religion, which is not contrary, he's a sex life also is Krishna, right? Provided it's not contradictory to religious principle. Hare Krishna. 7.12.
All states of being, be they are God, goodness, passion, or ignorance, manifested by my energy. I am, in one sense, everything, but I am independent. I am not under the modes of this material nature. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. This is of all states of being, they are for goodness, passion. So the three modes we know, goodness, passion, and ignorance, are nothing but my energy. So it's external energy, Maya only presented, right? And he says, I am in one sense everything. Though he is everything, he is independent. He is nirguna. Nirguna means no material qualities. Krishna is above the three modes. The three modes are not controlling Krishna, but Krishna controls the three modes. He's above them. And he says he's independent. He is not under the three modes. See, can you see? Krishna is above them. If you see, Krishna is above, much above them. His destination is 7.13.
Related by the three modes, goodness, passion, and ignorance, the whole world does not know me, who am above the modes and inexhaustible. Hare Krishna.
What he's telling, people are all deluded, but they're all confused, perplexed by the three modes. And because of that, the modes do not know that I am above the modes, right? Because many of them don't know, they all get confused. So he's showing about various steps to reach Krishna. Krishna is waiting with Radharani to receive us. Hare Krishna. To 7.14, very important shloka. Devi Esha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyateya Mame Vaya Prapadyante Mayami Tam Tarantite. Hare Krishna.
This divine energy of mind, consisting of the three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome, but those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. Hare Krishna.
So very clearly he's telling the divine energy, that is Maya, has three modes, right? And it is very difficult to overcome. So people who says mind is my friend, I will manage. No, why? Because it is external energy of Krishna. We cannot have control over it. Like how? Example, if you feel that the president secretary is a very powerful person, he's creating some trouble for you. On and on. Is there any way you can influence? You can tell your mama, papa, but he is far more powerful, right? You are calling of help. Even if you want to call the local, person or a local minister, he won't be able to help you. But if you know the president himself or the prime minister directly, what will happen? You will directly tell, hey, your secretary is troubling me, right? So the same thing here, the Maya Devi is Krishna's support staff. Now we can't fight against it because that's an external energy of Krishna who is very powerful and a devotee of Krishna. So how do we get over that? By directly taking the help of this internal energy, by Krishna. Krishna directly will be able to solve this problem. That is what it says. So this external energy of mind you can easily overcome with my internal energy. Hare Krishna at 17.15. Namam dushkriti no mudha prapadyante naradama maya ya pratino jnana asuram bhavam ashita. Hare Krishna.
Are grossly foolish, lowest among mankind, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion, and who partake of the atheistic nature of demons, do not surrender unto me. Hare Krishna.
Very clearly, there is telling there are four types of people. Who are the four types of people? Right? So who are atheists, right? They don't surrender. One is Muda, grossly foolish, right? They are so grossly foolish that they will never surrender. Next one is Naradama. Naradama means lowest among mankind, somebody who's drunk, and all, abominable activities and all. Remind me at the end, I'll tell you the story of Haridas, not Haridas Thakur, of two of them who are coming in the category of Naradama. Anybody knows, you can type in the chat. I don't want to tell the name. And it's Maya Ya Bharta. So Maya Ya Bharta means somebody who is covered by illusion, right? Typical classic examples will be all your philosophers, your professors, your PhD scholars or all, right? Because they think they are very intelligent. So they write a lot of comments on Bhagavad Gita without believing in that, right? Ashuram, Sura, You may not know Sura, but Asura all of us know. Always we know the villain, not the hero though. Asura. Bhavam Ashritaha. Ashritaha means somebody who is taking shelter, right? For example, this is the one grossly foolish, one category. Somebody who is, sorry, Jagai Magai, right? So these are the two people who actually come in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They are drunk, they are so bad, they have all abominable habits. And what happened is Chaitanya's greatest devotee and also incarnation of Balram is Nityananda. He goes around to preach, don't do this, don't do that. But what happens is Nityananda goes around, sends the Sudarshan Chakra. No, Nityananda doesn't send. I mean, when what these people behave very badly, that they throw something on Nityananda's head and he starts bleeding. And our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately gets so angry that he immediately sends the Sudarshan Chakra to kill them. But Nityananda says, please don't do that. We are not meant for, you should not do that. This time you are in Kali Yuga. You come to give Sankirtan. So please don't do this. And he is literally begging. So the Lord can tolerate any amount of trouble for him, but he can never tolerate the trouble caused to his devotee, right? So he can never tolerate that. So that is the thing. That is why lowest among the mankind, Naradama. And I told you, Maya Yaprita is basically the professors. And the final thing is Asurya. We all know our Hiranyakashipu, Ravana, all of them come under this. And this is another, we saw 4 people who are atheists, right? Now let's see 4 pious people. All of us will come in one of the 4 categories. All beginners will be one of the 4 categories. So maybe if it's nice, you can put in chat which category you belong to. Let's try, right? Little fun time. Hare Krishna. Chaturvidha bhajante ma jana sukriti norjuna artha jignashu arthati jnani cha bharata vishabha. Hare Krishna.
It is among the Buddhas, Arjuna. Four kinds of pious men render devotional service unto me: the distressed, the desire of wealth, the inquisitive, and he who is searching for knowledge of the absolute. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So let's see each one of them in detail. Now, can anyone guess the first one, first picture? Who it is? Correct. Gajendra Moksha. And what category? We saw no Artha.
Distressed.
Distressed, yes. He is in distress. He is in pain. So he is calling that out. Oh my God, he is calling. Now, the second picture, can anyone say who's this in the second picture?
Draupadi.
The elephant name is Gajendra. Draupadi, everybody will know. Yeah, she is also in distress. So she says, Govinda, right? Now everybody keeps asking, when Draupadi called, Krishna came. When we call, will Krishna come? Krishna will come. But will we call so sincerely? That is the point. Right? We think we are sincere, but are we? Third one, can anyone guess who they are?
Vasudeva and Devaki.
Sorry?
Vasudeva Devaki.
No. Everybody guessed like that. No, it's not Vasudeva Devaki. This is Krishna, I can tell you that. So it's not Vasudeva Devaki. The one and nice, cute looking person here is Krishna. So this is
and
Vyasa. So Vyasa's wife is pregnant with Sukha. We saw, right? Sukha Muni. Sukha was telling Parikshit in 10 days he's going to die. So that Sukha is in the stomach of his mother and he refuses to come in 16 years. And Vyasa is so worried. And Krishna personally comes and tells Sukha, come out. Even if you come out, you will not be stuck in this material world because you are very self-realized. So now you tell me. So now 2 people, both Vyasa as well as Sukha, both will come under the which category?
Distressed.
No, they're not distressed. Sukha is not, will not come. These 2 are distressed. They're all coming in the category of Jnani because they are already very elevated. That is what Krishna just told also. And here, if you see, he's only Sukha. I already told he's coming in the category of Jnani, right? Sorry, just 1 second. Hare Krishna. Just give me one. Hare Krishna. Sorry. And can anyone guess who's the small little boy in the first picture? Small little.
Dhruva Maharaj.
Yeah, perfect. Dhruva Maharaj. That Suniti is his actual mother, and he has. So Dhruva's story I will tell you. So Dhruva's story is like this, right? Dhruva actually wanted to sit in the lap of Krishna, not Krishna, his father. And what happens is his stepmom tells that you can't sit because you're not born out of my womb. She insults him, and the father, though likes him, he's very much curtailed. He's literally, a slave of his second wife. He's so attracted to her, and he will not want to do anything against her. And therefore, her name is Surichi. So this boy, 5-year-old, but he's a Kshatriya, his blood is boiling and he's crying, and he goes to his mother Suniti and he says, Mama, this is what. And what she says is, if at all someone has to give you solution, you should go and ask Vishnu only. So she goes and cries, and mother says, yes, I don't have the power. Very honest. She admits, telling that, yes, I have a challenge. We do not have the power to do. Your dad is very attracted and he will not change. I don't have any power, but if someone can solve it, is Vishnu. Immediately, this boy goes on his tour to go meet Vishnu. And on his way, Narada will come wherever, right? Narada says, hey, you're a small boy, you can't do. And he says, please help me, how I should see Vishnu. So Narada persuades him, but fails. And therefore he says, okay, tell, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. That is the mantra he gives. And that also starts with Om. And see, that is where he meets, and then he goes and does tapasya in one leg for 6 months. Okay, without eating, without sleeping, one leg he does once in a week. He'll breathe in air, and seeing that stress and tension, everybody tells Vishnu. Vishnu immediately comes and tells, hey, little boy, what do you want? And he had come to Vishnu because he wanted to ask Vishnu, Vishnu, give me a land bigger than Brahmaloka. Why? Because he wants to overtake his father because of the insult. He's a Kshatriya. So he comes to pray. But after seeing Vishnu, he looks at him and says, oh my God, I came for, I thought that is diamond, but actually I've come for pebbles. I've got a lovely thing. I don't want anything. I want only you. So he says, so what is the beauty? Krishna purifies the devotee. He could have gone to Brahma. Brahma is his great-grandfather. But still he didn't go. He could have asked him, but he comes. So you can understand, in times of problem, whether it's material or non-material, you should go to Krishna because Krishna has the power to purify. And this one, all of you know Ramayana story. Now I'm going to hear from you the story. Someone tell me the story. Hare Krishna. Yes, Saurabh. Yes, that's Sukadev only. Sukha is a parrot of Radharan. Anyone knows the story?
Sugriva helping Rama. I mean, Rama helping Sugriva.
Exactly, Sugriva. So that story you all know. So again, it will come under the wealth, right? He wanted wealth, and that's why. Jignashu, inquisitive is this one. Does anyone know who they are? This is the starting of
Muni and
Shaunaka
Muni and
no. Correct. Shaunaka Muni and
what?
Correct. These are the rishis of the correct forest, where they are very jignashu, they are very curious, they want to know what is happening, and therefore all of them assemble there along with Shaunaka Muni to find out what is happening. And the whole story is told by Sukadeva Goswami is also there. Who's Sukadeva Goswami's Sishya? He tells the whole story. Sound else? Story time is over. Before that, I asked you a question. Which category are you in? Out of the 4, which category? You can write privately to me, or you can write privately in your diary. But you should know that you will fall also in one of the 4 categories. Why have you approached Krishna? You don't have to tell me, but it's a learning for yourself. So sweet. Yes, Aishwarya. But each of them will be 1. So 7.17, please go ahead. Hare Krishna.
Of these, the wise one who is in full knowledge in a union with me through pure devotional service is the best, for I am very dear to him and he is dear to me. Hare Krishna.
So very clearly, of these, the wise one who is full of knowledge and union with me through pure devotional service is the best. So he says all four are good, but the best is the jnani because they come just to know about me and I am very dear to them. Oh my God, then he's only dear. Is he not dear to us? This is the doubt which will come for all of us. So he's going to answer that. Hare Krishna. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavamam prapadyate vasudeva sarvamiti sa mahatma sudurlabha.
After many births and deaths, he who is actually knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is. Such a great soul is very rare. Hare Krishna.
Irrespective of whichever four you take, he says that Mahatma, such a great soul, Sudurlabha, Durlabha is very rare, Sudurlabha very, very rare, right? After many births, so all of you who are listening to Bhagavad Gita, it's not that it's your first Janma. So many Janmas have passed and you have done that and then you have reached. So for people whom many of you all say, my uncle, my friends are not Krishna conscious, no problem. After many births, they will also come here, right? You also did the same. So let's hear 7.20. Hare Krishna. Go ahead, Ma.
Those whose minds are disordered by material desires surrenders unto demigods and follow the particular rules and regulation of worship according to their own natures. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So what do they say? So men who are, who want material desires, right? We've seen that Krishna also satisfies material desire, but still people who are too much inclined, I want promotion, I want this. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a particular canto, third canto talks a lot about which God to approach for what, for want of money, what should you do? For want of beauty, for beautiful wife, everything is given. So people do approach devatas because they want to have their wish fulfilled. And 7.21, go ahead, Hare Krishna.
I am in everyone's heart as the super soul. As soon as one desires to worship the demigods, I make his faith steady so that he can devote himself to some particular deity. Hare Krishna.
So Krishna says, I am the Paramatma. So even if someone wants his material desire and wants to pray at Devata, I will make his faith steady so that he can devote himself to that deity. So if anyone prays Devata, it is also because Krishna has given the approval. Okay, no problem, you want to pray Ganesha, I will approve your wish to pray Ganesha and therefore your faith will become steady in Ganesha. So that power is also given by Krishna. 7.22. Please read.
Entered with such a faith, he seeks favors of particular demigod and obtain his desire. But in actually, these benefits are bestowed by me alone. Hare Krishna.
Very clearly says, so endowed with such faith, right? He's saying that by endowing with such faith, seeks favors of a particular devata, right? He seeks favor of one particular devata and obtains his desire. But in reality, the benefits are bestowed by me alone. He's telling that even though they focus on one, that is also power given by me only. So he's giving that. And 7.231.
Men of small intelligence worships the demigods, and their fruits are limited and temporary. Those who worship the demigods go to the planets of demigods, but by my devotees ultimately reach my supreme planet. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So very clearly, men of small intelligence worship demigods. And the fruits are limited and temporary. Those who pray are going to be limited because demigods have only limited power. Vande pranama satmaye saganadiraja vignam vigattum alamasya jagatrayasya govindamadi purusham tamam bhajami are prayers offered by God Ganesha Vinayaka telling that praying, oh Krishna, please give me the power, oh Govinda, remove the obstacles for all my devotees in three worlds, so that give me the power so that I can remove the obstacle. So he in fact takes power from them. So their powers are limited because they in fact are borrowing powers from Krishna. And he says that they ultimately reach and those who worship the demigods, right, will go to demigods, right? Because that's a destination. You buy a ticket to Singapore, you go to Singapore, right? But those who are my devotees, they will reach my planet. They will come to my Goloka Vrindavan. So that's a guarantee Krishna is giving. 7.24. Hare Krishna.
Unintelligent men who know me, who know me not, think that I have assumed this form and personality. Due to their small knowledge, they do not know my higher nature, which is changeless and supreme. Hare Krishna.
So he's saying that all those who are less intelligent, right? Not even less intelligent, unintelligent men, think that I have assumed this form. So they think that whoever has come, so they think that I have come as a person, right? I have taken this form. But the fact is, this is my original form. Krishna's two-handed form. Shama Sundara is his original form. But many people get, so that's what Krishna is saying. And he will still lay stress on it in 25.
I am never manifest to the foolish and unintelligent. For them, I am covered by my eternal creative potency, Yoga Maya. And so the deluded world knows me not, who am unborn and infallible. Hare Krishna.
Infallible means sorry. Infallible means someone who will not fall, right? Somebody who is unshakable. And I'm never manifest to the foolish. So if someone says, I want to see God, why believe? Who are you? Why should God show him to you? Are you so great? First of all, are you having the qualification? You don't, right? So that's what he's saying. I never manifest to the foolish and unintelligent. For them, I'm covered by the external energy. What is that external energy? That is only yoga mind. That's what Hiranmayena Patrena, right? Hiranmayena, that effulgence, Brahman effulgence covers him. And they are always think that, so they are deluded worlds, knows. So the people who are confused, right, are not worth. But my devotees know that I am unborn and I am never fallen. Only for them I will show myself. Is what Krishna is told in 26. So let's hear what he says in 26. Hare Krishna.
O Arjuna, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, I know everything that has happened in the past, all that is happening in the present, and all things that are yet to come. I also know all living entities, but me no one knows. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So very clearly he says that I know everything that has happened in the past, in the present, and in the future. Right? I know all living entities, but nobody knows me, including Devatas don't know me. That is my power, is what Krishna is. So let's hear 7.28. Hare Krishna. Yesham tvankagatam papam janana punya karmana te dvanda moha nirmukta bhajante ma brida vridaha. Hare Krishna.
Persons who have acted piously in previous lives, persons who have acted piously in previous lives and in this life, whose sinful actions are completely eradicated and who are freed from the duality of delusion, engage themselves in my service with determination. Hare Krishna.
Anuja, your daughter is competing, daughter or son? She's also competing to read with you.
No, I am just 20 years old. She's my bhabhi's daughter.
Whose daughter?
My bhabhi's daughter, my bhaiya's daughter.
Bhabhi, yeah, that's what I'm telling you. So that small kid is also fighting, 1 year old, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So she or he?
She.
She's also competing with you, I'm telling you.
Yes.
So person who has acted piously in previous life and in this life, right? Whose sinful actions are completely irradiated and who are freed from the duality. So duality means we saw heat, cold. Kapanya dosho prahatasva bhava. After that, what does he say? Matras, pastas to kaunteya, sitos to sika dukkadaha. That is in happiness and in distress, right? In heat as well as cold. So there is no duality. So person who always acts piously and are completely removed from the sin, right? Because they do not bother about the dualities at all and they engage only in my dedicated. He clearly says that. Hare Krishna. Let's see what is there in 7.3.
Those who know me as the Supreme Lord, as the governing principle of the material manifestation, who know me as the one underlying all the demigods and as the one sustaining all sacrifices, can with steadfast mind understand and know me even at the time of death. Hare Krishna.
It says those who know me as the Supreme Lord. Okay. and govern the principle of the material manifestation, who knows me as the one underlying the demigods, right? So basically he says that whoever knows I'm the Supreme Lord, who knows that I am the source for everything, I am the manifestation, and all demigods report into me, right? And all sacrifices are for me. Whoever understands this at the time of death, right, will reach me. So he's actually started giving the assurity. He says, can with steady mind and understand and know me even at the time of death. So even at the time of death, they will think of me. So he's telling very clearly. So who understands this principle, understands I am there, I am the underlying principle for all demigods. If they know this so clearly, at the time of death, the first thing that will come is me, right? So 7th chapter, quickly. Ma Veti Tattvataha. That means all glories of the absolute. Tattva means truth about Krishna. Prakritim, so that is 1 to 3. 4 to 12, knowledge of Krishna's energy. We saw that, right? Both external, first is external, next is internal. Prakritim, Vidhi Me Param, right? All the energies. Surrendering on to Krishna is 13 to 19. Mam eva va prapadyante. So therefore, all the energies you surrender to him. So that is clear. Demigod worship and impersonalism. Maeva vihitan nitan. Right? Demigod worship, and what? 2 ways. First is demigod. If you pray demigod, intelligence is given by Krishna, and that's not the right thing. You have to pray him. And impersonalism, you have to pray God in Krishna in his personal form, which is a two-handed form. Right? And finally, of course, that's 7.4, 6 and 4.7. Icha Desha Samutena, from delusion to devotion. How will you jump from delusion to Krishna consciousness? So that is what is so beautifully explained by Krishna, and that is what we will follow. So we will the chapter. You all have any doubts, you can type. Then let me just quickly change. Panchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha Patitanan pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Come on, anybody has any doubts? Please go ahead.
No.
No doubts? Okay. Okay, so I told you I'll explain the Goloka chart, right? So let me just explain that. And so how is Krishna? What is Vishnu? All this, we'll be able to see in what's called the Goloka chart. I will share this PDF in the group for you to go through. But right now, let me just explain it here. Can you see? Yeah. Can you see this?
Yes.
Let me just make it a little bigger. So before I make it bigger, okay, make it a little smaller. This is the full view of the Goloka chart. I'm going to expand and explain this bubble. I'm setting it so you can zoom it up in your PDF. So can you see this Vishnu? He's called Karno Dakshayi Vishnu, right? He is the Karno Dakshayi Vishnu who is sleeping in the Karna ocean. So there is no Kananta, there is no Lakshmi here with him. His Rama Devi is the Lakshmi. He expands into Shiva and Maya Devi and enters into each universe. So now let's go into the expansion of universe. So this Karna Dakshayi Vishnu enters, so when he exhales, when he breathes out from his pores, multiple universes come. How many? In a big gunny bag of mustards. How many mustards will be there? That many universes will come. This is an expansion of one mustard. And that one mustard, inside each mustard, our Garbo Dakshayi Vishnu. Now you will see Ananta Shesha as well as Lakshmi, both have added, are appearing, and from his navel, you have 14 planets, right? Our Bhur Loga is the middle planetary system. You have lower planets, you have upper planets. On the 4th day, we all saw the life of Brahma, right? And the day of Brahma. So this one will explain. During the night of Brahma, right? Which is 4.32 years, right? Lakh years. So what happens is the lower, all these from the 4th loka, everything goes into annihilation. But your top 3, this is only Swargam. So this is also not permanent. Brahmaloka, Kumara's Loka, and Prajapati. These three things, Satyaloka, Tapaloka, and Janaloka, remain as it is. But during the death of Brahma, which is 100 years of his life, what happens is all these lokas get vanished. So that is the difference. And from here, from Akshayi Vishnu name, Brahma comes, right? He is a secondary creator. Now what happens is, now Kshirodakshayi Vishnu comes out of Garbhodakshayi and he enters the heart of every living entity. He is so merciful that even if you take the form of a stool, he is still with you. Even in the stool, he will sit as Paramatma. That is the level of love he has for you. And Kshirodakshayi Vishnu lives in what's called Dhruva Loka. We saw Dhruva's story today. So now what did Krishna give? He also spoke half story, right? I told you what Dhruva asked. After that, what did happen? Narada, after meeting him, goes back to the father and explains to him, and the father feels so insulted. And the kingdom is handed over to Dhruva. And after he serves as a Dhruva Maharaj, after his material death, Krishna hands over Dhruva Loka to him. That is why they say Dhruva Loka and Sapta Rishis. These are the two planets, cosmets, which permanently exist. Nothing changes. Even if the Brahma's life, even though it's material world, they are eternal. They don't get destroyed. And they control the planetary movements. And that is also the residing place of Kshirodakshayi Vishnu. So it's called multiple Vishnu, the same Vishnu. Now we saw the 8 layers, right? 7.4, Bhumi, Apo, Nalo, Vayu, right? Come, Buddhi, Mano, Ahankar, right? All are here. False ego is Ahankar, Mahatattva. These are the layers which are covering, and each layer is very wide. It's like a coconut. So these are the various universes which has come. So I hope you understand this. Because now I'm going to take you up. This is our material world. Now this is Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha, you see, we see in Vaikuntha, we have Lord Saraswati, we have Ganesha, we have Vasudeva, we have all of them in Vaikuntha Loka. And who are guarding this? Jaya Vijaya. Okay, these are called the gatekeepers. Why is Jaya Vijaya very important? Is Jaya Vijaya gatekeepers? There's a story based on that. Jaya Vijaya actually, so once you go there, is there a chance of fall down? Very unlikely. But if you show arrogance there, even from there you can come down. So one such arrogance, because of that they were penalized. And what happens to Jaya Vijaya? Jaya Vijaya come to earth. And you know who they are? They are only taking 3 births. One is, Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyagarbha, the first generation, right? That one, they are the 2 people. First, next one is Ramana and Kumbhakarna, right? Second time. And third time, anybody knows who it is?
Shishupal.
And Dantavakra.
Huh?
Shishupala and Dantavakra.
Excellent. Shishupala and Shishupala's brother Dantavakra, right? So there is the thing. So they are the 3 things who are cursed. So why am I telling this? Even in spiritual world, the chance of fall down is unlikely. But if you show arrogance, you will be depromoted. Now the highest planet is Goloka Vrindavan. And this is where we aim to go. Here you can see Krishna with gopis, with Radha Rani, and his 8 gopis are there. You can see Lalita, Vishaka, right? 8 of them are here. You can see all the pastimes, and the outermost layer you see our Chaitanya's pastimes are also happening. So this is the thing, and you have the 4 Vedas, right? Jajur Veda, you will see all 4 sides, Atharva Veda. I'm just taking you Sama Veda, and the other side is Rig Veda. Yeah. So these are the 4 Vedas, and you have 4 levels. One is Dwaraka here, which is there, it's there also. Inner layer is Jagannath Puri, and the innermost layer is Mathura. So these worlds exist. Same way there is an Ayodhya. Can you see Ayodhya? Why is there an Ayodhya? Because Hanuman will not want to sit with Krishna. He would want to sit with Rama. So Rama is also there. So all these planets exist, coexist in Vaikuntha. So Krishna is, Golaka Vrindavan is the highest of all, where you can see Krishna in his very casual form. You can see Krishna like how you are in the house in shorts and t-shirt. Krishna is in his 2-handed form. And even Devatas don't get this chance. Who gets a chance? Only pure devotees have this chance to be in touch with him. So that is the speciality of Krishna, right? So is there anything else? So this is the chart. Is there any doubt? You can ask me about the chart, but I will share this chart. Rekha, can you post this chart in the group?
Madam, I have a question.
Sure. Thanks, Rekha. Yeah, tell ma.
Madam, you tell that Joy and Bujoy have to come here in our planet, Satyayug, Kretayug, and Daparjuk as various demons.
1 second, ma'am, taking you there. Yeah.
Jayan Vijay, the Dwarpal of gatekeepers of Vaikunt, he will come here 3 yugs. Satyayug, Kretayug, and Daparjuk, different name and different demon.
I don't understand your question. Your voice is going in and out. I understand Satyayug, Dwapar Yug, Treta Yug. What are you actually trying to ask, Mukherjee?
Madam, I am asking that when Kali Yuga is end, then they will come again.
Oh, you're asking, will they come again? No. Their benediction is only this. Their point is when they were. So basically, I'll tell you the story. How it goes is this. Since for half of you all knows, half don't know. So Jaya Vijaya, okay, there are this Brahma's 4 sons, right? Sanat Kumara sons, they are called. They want to see Vishnu. They are always in a fight. They are very learned people, very knowledgeable. They are Brahmavadis, but they want to see Vishnu because I see smelling the flower of Vishnu. They get attracted and they want to see Vishnu. So they enter the kingdom of Vaikunta and they want to see Vishnu. So they're running and they look like 5-year-old, very elevated because they don't want to get into this, life, 5 children and all. So therefore they get stuck at them. So the mind does not get corrupted. But Jaya Vijaya stopped him. They're telling, who are you? He says, I've come to see Vishnu. He says, no, pre-approval, prior permission. Otherwise, you're not allowed. Normally, itself, we don't stop children. If you see, even if you're in the room and the kids want to talk, you allow them, right? But now these are come for Vishnu. You cannot stop any devotee. That's what Rama also says, right? When it comes to Vibhishan, he says, everyone says don't. He says, no, I can't say no to my devotee, right? So that's a rule. So now this rule is known by the security guards, right? Or they should have at least checked with Vishnu. Instead, they went into power and they stopped. And these kids get so angry and they immediately curse. They say that you will become, asuras. And immediately they get scared. Oh my God, how do I have the right to curse Vishnu's watchman? And when Vishnu comes, they immediately ask for forgiveness. Please forgive me. I should have not asked. I should have not cursed. Vishnu in turn says, please forgive me. They should have not stopped. My people have done the mistake. What you have done is wrong. And now this Jaya Vijaya says, please forgive me. Vishnu, please pull back my curse. Vishnu says, I can't do that, because it's from them. But what I can do is, you have 2 choices. Either 7 times you will be born again and again, and you will stay away from me as my devotees, or you will have 3 janmas where you will come across me, but you will be fighting against me in my Leela. But in 3 births, you will come back to me. So they immediately choose, I'll take 3 births. We will face you again and again, but we'll come back to you. So their 3 birth is over. So they've gone back now to Vishnu. See, because Vishnu only purifies, he doesn't punish, right? So there's a punishment. So even the punishment is for failure. So every time Vishnu only liberates. So after the 3 asuric behavior, it is useful for Vishnu also for his Leela. And then they all go back. So that's a story. Hope I've clarified. Anything else? Any other doubts? So we had Goloka chart, we had this, we had a lot. Yeah, and I hope you all have started chanting. Also, I want to tell you, just go through the website. Please do your quizzes. Don't hold till the last day. Certificates and all will come on the last day, but then you please regularly do your quizzes. And my request is keep it ready so that you can easily enroll to level 2. I want all of you all to go in for level 2, where we will be talking about Bhagavad Gita only 2 days a week. 1.5 hour weekends, mostly either Saturday, Sunday evening or Monday, Tuesday morning. And it's a 1.5 hour session, and that will be 18 weeks. So is there any other question? If not, we can end the session, and I would like to have one person to chant today. Who's going to chant? No other doubts? Okay, who's going to chant? Okay, let me just tell the Vancha Kalpa the Rupyascha, the Pasindubya Evacha, Pratidana Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna.